I just got back from seeing The Conjuring Last Rites, and it was fine. It was about what I expected it to be. I went into the movie with very low expectations, but also pretty high expectations because, well, it's the final Conjuring movie. It's the last time we're going to be seeing Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga as Ed and Lorraine Warren, and I was kind of expecting quite a bit out of this movie. And, the marketing for the movie, the tagline saying, like, oh, the case that ended it all. It's the case that made Ed and Lorraine quit doing paranormal investigating and all that shit. So I was like, oh, this should be a lot in this movie, right? But I also went in with low expectations because, well, I mean, James Wan isn't coming back to direct this movie, and they got the director of Curse of La Llorona, The Nun 2, and the last Conjuring movie, The Devil Made Me Do It. All of those movies, which I wasn't crazy about, and all the trailers also didn't really impress me too much. I was like, it looks fine, maybe it'll be good, I don't know. And I'd seen the movie, and yeah, it was just okay. It was nothing crazy. It was just, honestly, just another Conjuring movie. When it comes to the characters in this movie, Ed and Lorraine Warren, played by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, are great. As always, we love these characters. We love these two as Ed and Lorraine Warren. They're so likable, and they're kind of the main reason we always come back to these Conjuring movies is because of them. And there was this really sad feeling, especially in the last 5 minutes of the movie, where everything was kind of wrapping up and concluding, and it was like, knowing this is possibly the last time we'll see these two playing these characters was like, it was a sad feeling. It was like, yeah, this is really the end, isn't it? Damn, this is really upsetting. I really like these characters. So, yeah, there was this really sad feeling when it was all wrapping up, and I was like, damn, I'm actually genuinely gonna miss these two as Ed and Lorraine Warren. This is actually really sad. Judy Warren, who is Ed and Lorraine's daughter, plays a much bigger role in this movie than she did in the previous movies. She's an adult, she has a boyfriend named Tony, and they're supposedly meant to get married, and yeah, there's a whole subplot between Judy Warren and her boyfriend Tony, and yeah, I thought they were fine. I mean, there is a kind of a reveal halfway through the movie about Judy and something she has, and it's like, oh, I was just like, oh, we're doing that with Judy. Oh, okay, sure. I don't know, not that interesting, but okay, I guess we're doing that. And the boyfriend character, Tony, was also fine. He has some pretty nice moments with Ed and Lorraine, especially Ed, some pretty funny moments here and there, so I thought that was kind of nice, and they were fine add-ons to the movie. And the whole Smurl family case that's being handled in this movie, I did a bit of research actually. I watched a few videos about the case before, many months before this movie was coming out, and I was like, oh, there's some freaky stuff happening in this case. I wonder how they're gonna tackle it in the movie itself. And yeah, it was all pretty safe, to be honest, I'd say. When it comes to the entities, there's one dude in the movie that's been teasing the trailers who has an axe and stuff, and yeah, I thought he was kind of freaky looking, but I don't know. Other than that, I don't know. I didn't really think the entities in this movie were really that scary. I'd say this is probably maybe the bloodiest Conjuring movie of them all, the goriest one. There's one scene in this movie that feels like you'd only see in a slasher movie, not really particularly a Conjuring movie. The movie unfortunately has a very dull, generic, bland feel to it, I guess, which is what I was really fearing, because they didn't get James Wan back. I love those first two movies, and I was hoping they would bring him back for the final movie, and they got the guy who did the last movie, which I wasn't crazy about. And yeah, this movie has a very dull feel to it. I'd say the movie doesn't really have that many surprises. A lot of the crazy things that happen in this movie, particularly in the third act, have already been shown in the trailers. So I was like, when things were going on in the third act, I was just like, oh yeah, I remember that from the trailer. Oh yeah, I remember that from the trailer. And I wasn't really surprised by anything that was going on. I'd say the only shocking moments in this movie was the opening of the movie, where we get a bit of flashback to Ed and Lorraine Warren when they were younger and they were doing their first case. That's all I'll say. And I was like, ooh, are we cooking? I thought it was actually a really cool way to start, this final Conjuring movie. I was like, oh, this actually could be really cool. And then the rest of the movie was about what I expected, and until the last 5 minutes, things were kind of wrapping up and saying goodbye to these characters, and it was sad. It was like, oh, it was really getting to me. I was kind of sad that the way this movie was kind of saying goodbye to these characters. It was kind of very upsetting. Other than that, the rest of the movie was about what I expected, just jump scares, and a lot of jump scares. Some of which were okay, some of which were very predictable and weren't really done that creatively. I don't know. I was just hoping for a teeny bit more out of the last Conjuring movie, but overall I was just really hoping James Wan would come back to direct us, but nope. But yeah, that's about all I can really say about The Conjuring Last Rites. If you love the first two movies and thought the third movie was just fine, then you'll probably enjoy this. I'd say this is probably on par with The Devil Made Me Do It, which is very disappointing. I wish they brought back James Wan. They didn't, but overall I thought it was it was a very messy, kind of a dull, mediocre, bland way to conclude the series, the Warrens, and I guess the Conjuring universe in total. I don't think they have anything else planned after this. Probably more spin-offs, but we'll have to wait and see. As of right now, this seems to be the end, so yeah. Alright, I guess this was it. But hey, despite how messy this movie was, at the end of the day, I did get the feeling like, you know what, I am going to miss Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga in a Conjuring movie. It's very sad that we may not see them again, but, you know, this was one way to end off their characters, so I'll give them that.